the channel. Glad to have you here. Not your normal Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, not your normal Sunday. And we're glad to be here with you for another edition of Not Your Normal Sunday. Today, we're going to talk about Jesus is the enemy, not the answer. We're going to tell you some truth, some truth that sometimes seems to be some hard truth, but yet it's truth that is true. And as Tracy says, we appreciate all the pre-chat talk and the enthusiastic banter. Well, let's try to focus in on the subject at hand as we move right in to today's program. We appreciate you all very, very much, and we appreciate you being here. Howdy from Texas. Nice to see people here in Texas. We got people here from Japan. We got people from across the oceans. We have a lot of new names, a lot of old names, but nice to see Paul here, Two Trees, Serial Dog, Artie, Harry, Brandon, Mr. Ackelwill, Michelle, Carmen, Josh, Brandon, Nikita. Welcome back. Tracy Dyer. Of course, we got Sterling over in Japan, and Lydia's here as well. Nice to see everybody here. We appreciate you, and we don't want to bore everybody by reading off a bunch of names, but it's nice to see you here. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're here to talk about today. It might take us a minute to do it, and I know we've all got things to do. Brenda says she's here too. I get it. Matthew's from Indiana. Christianity or Jesus, they are interchangeable, is the enemy. I'm Magi Nation here, and I'm here to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And I know it sounds counterintuitive. Everybody says Christianity is the only hope. Christianity is what we need. In actuality, Christianity is exactly what we don't need. Christianity is the problem. Christianity is the issue, and it is the issue and the problem for several reasons, none of which are because I hate Christians, none of which are I'm still mad that my wife left me 20 years ago. Best thing that ever happened to me, to be honest with you. Hello to you in Southern Ontario. But the Christianity is the problem for several reasons. Number one, it cuts you off from your ancestors. It makes you forget who you are, and intentionally so. It makes you forget where you've come from, and intentionally so. And those things are very important to an individual. It also cuts you off from your old gods. There's a reason why your people were affiliated with the divinities they were affiliated with. Now, perhaps you'll choose not to be affiliated with those divinities. Personally, I'm divine, I'm sovereign, I'm free. I don't have original sin. I've got the spark of divinity within, and I don't have to go to any deity on my knee because I don't need salvation. Have there been times where it has come up where I decided that maybe I would work with this deity for this purpose and that deity for that purpose? I have, but those times are few and far in between, because you've got to understand the concept of fees, taxes, assessments. Whenever you use someone else's name, someone else's spells, someone else's sigils, whenever you're using power and intention that is not your own, you've got to pay for that. That's what our friends that practice magic don't understand. Oh, we're going to use these entities, and we're going to use these names. We're going to use these spells and these incantations and these sigils. Guess what? You can use them, but it's like the 70s, baby. Grass or ass, nobody rides free. And they want your grass, they want your intentions, and some of them, I'll tell you right now, some of them want your ass for exactly the reason you think they want your ass for. They're no better than the Christians. So think about that next time you decide to get involved in magic. And let's face it, magic is for lazy people that don't want to take the time to build their own intention. And magic is for people that don't mind letting spirits run a train on their ass. It's just that simple. And I don't know why they're especially interested in the ass. They just are. This is not your normal Sunday. So You forget about that cut you off from your gods, cut you off from your ancestors, cut you off from the land of your birth. And there's something about the connection that you have to the actual land of your birth. There's something about it. And Christianity cuts you off from that. It cuts you off from the love of your race, who you are. I believe in the white race. We should have a strong white race. I believe we should have a strong black race, a strong yellow race, a strong red race, red, yellow, black, white. I left somebody out. Yellow, red. Oh, red. That was the Native Americans. I think we should have a strong red race. And it also cuts you off from your love of country, and intentionally so. And we'll get into the reasons why it does all of these things. And it's important because these are the things that make you who you are. These are the things that define you as an individual, as a person. These are the things that people will fight and die for. Very key. These are the things that are life. These are living. And without these things, you've got nothing left to fight for. Without these things, you've got nothing left to be. Without these things, you have no identity and nothing that you'll fight for. And that's that's really the great reason why Christianity is the problem. Because there's only two things, ladies and gentlemen. There's only two things that can defeat the New World Order. There's only two things that can defeat the Jesuit, Illuminati, Freemason, LEMISH cabal. Only two things. And those two things are your love of race and your love of country. Because if you love your race, you're always going to have pride in who you are, and you're not going to allow yourself to be amalgamated with everybody else. And if you love your country, you're always going to love your country, and you're not going to allow yourself to be amalgamated with everybody else. Why do you think? Well, first, let's just have a little lesson. Globalism. We want everybody. We want China to make all of the machinery. We want China to make all of the machinery. We want China to make all of the drugs, the pharmaceuticals. And we want India to make all of the clothes and the textiles. We want Mexico to make all of the cars. And in the globalist thinking, if a country can't make all of its own stuff, then a country has to be dependent upon all the other countries so they won't fight each other. Now, in theory, that may or may not make sense, but it doesn't make sense to me. But the fact of the matter is that if you can't be self-sufficient in all of your stuff, then you can't be self-sufficient. So a nation, America, they systematically, let's just talk about the United States because that's where I'm from and that's what I know. We systematically gave away all of our textiles to other countries, our textile manufacturing. We systematically gave away our automotive industry. We systematically gave away our steel industry. We systematically gave away all of our industry to other places. Why? Oh, because it was cheaper to do it over there. Well, that's secondary. We did it because they were trying to weaken the United States of America. Why? Because you can't have a strong United States if you're going to grow a one world order, a new world order, a one world order. Why do you think President Trump is trying to bring and is, in fact, successfully bringing back industry from China, industry from Mexico, industry from India, industry from all these other places? It's coming back. Why? Because President Trump knows that if America is going to be great, it has to be independent. It has to be able to make its own pharmaceuticals. I mean, he leveraged this DOSOM WIST. Dude, this DOSOM WIST is one of the best things that's ever happened to America. Why? Because it allowed President Trump the leeway that he needed to take our pharmaceutical production, and there are some good pharmaceuticals, there's some we need. It's all been produced in China, and who knows what they're putting in it. Now it's all being produced here again. Why? Because President Trump knows that you've got to have a strong America if you want to defeat the New World Order. Well, why is it so bad to have a New World Order? Here's why. Who is it that doesn't want there to be a strong America? Who is it that doesn't want there to be people proud of their race? Who is it that don't want people to be proud of their country? It's our media. Here's a simple question, folks. Who runs the U.S. media? Who runs the U.S. financial system? Who runs U.S. entertainment? Answer that question, and you will know who doesn't want a strong America, because instead they want a global one world order. It's very simple. It's just that easy. And traditionally, the people that own these things for the longest time didn't have a country. So they're experts at not being a country. They don't want us to be a country because they know the importance of ties to land. They know the importance of ties to country. They know the importance of ties to race. They know the importance of ties to your old gods and to your ancestors. Because, folks, guess what? Well, we don't want to be Americans. We don't want to be Britons. We don't want to be Australians. We don't want to be Canadians. We just want to be people. Sounds good. And then, we don't want to be black. We don't want to be white. We don't want to be Asian. We just want to be people. Sounds good. But see, there's a slippery slope. There's no nations anymore. There's no races anymore. And then guess what? There's not even men or women anymore. We're just humans. Oh. And then the next step is we got these artificial intelligences. They're just as good as we are. So now we're not even human anymore. We're just life. And we're on an equal footing with artificial intelligence. And guess what? We can't compete on that footing. They're better, stronger, faster. If you don't want anything that's human, you've got to understand where it's going. And I didn't really get that until young Pharaoh and I talked. And he shared that with me. And I mean, I got it, but I didn't really get it. They're trying to take away the desire to be American, and they're trying to take away the love of country, the love of race, the differentiality between man and woman, so they can get us down to equal footing with the AI. They want to put us in the matrix. Paul says a one industry country is far more apt to become totalitarian as it's easier to be taken over, centralized, or something like that. I've heard a one industry country. Yeah, that makes sense. And then Tracy talks about the second part, and this really isn't what we are here to talk about today, but it's part of it. Then you flood the United States with people that don't want to assimilate. What made America great? What made America great is freedom-loving people from all countries and all places and all races coming here to start over and be free. What makes America great is when we have strong white people that love America, strong white people that love their white race and love America. What makes America strong is when we have strong black people that love their race and love America. When we have strong Asian people that love their race and love America. We have strong Hispanic people that love their race and love America. We have strong Native peoples that love their race and love America. The people out there burning shit down, they don't love black people. And smart black people know that. It's like Pharaoh says, stay your stupid ass at home. They're not helping black people. Black lives matter only during election years. Look at the statistics of Black Lives Matter, how often it's accessed on the internet. 2016, during the elections, spiked way up high, then went down to nothing. And then into the midterm election, spiked way up high, went down to nothing. Now 2020 election spikes way up high, and it'll be down to nothing. Black lives only matter during election years. Duh, don't you get it? Well, Jeff, How can you say you want white power? Because I want a powerful white race. And let's just talk about this. I don't think white people should be marrying people that aren't white. I don't think white people should be having sex with people that aren't white. I think a white race is here for a reason. The white race should be strong and proud and pure. And just like Pharaoh says, I don't think black people should be having sex with people that ain't black. Black people should not be raising families with people that ain't black. Black people should build their strong black race. White people should build their strong white race. And guess what? That's what makes the human race better. The strong individual races. Strong individual races. I believe in white power and black power and yellow power and red power. Red, yellow, black, white. I think that covers everybody. But they don't want that because it's like this place in Oregon, Lincoln County, Oregon, right? They passed a new directive that everybody's got to wear a mask, except if you're a person of color and you feel like it's taking away from your identity, you don't have to wear it. Well, that tells me a couple of things. Number one, we're all colors. Red, yellow, black, white, they're all colors. It's just like, oh, I'm out of shape. Well, don't let anybody judge you because round is a shape too. We're all colors, number one. But number two, ooh, Terrence is hitting the nail on the head. Number two, if you really love black people and you really believe that masks save lives, then why the hell would you tell people black people not to wear a mask? It's almost like you don't like black people. If you really believe that DOSOM WIST is going to kill bitches and you don't want the black people to wear a mask, you're trying to kill black people. Lincoln County hates black people. They're trying to kill them. What that tells you is they know those masks don't work. They know it's stupid. They're trying to make us all slaves. They're trying to make us all slaves. And what race isn't above all races that from the time that it began to today, that one race don't mix? There's one race that don't swirl, girl, and never has and never will. Now, there's exceptions. But what race never, ever mixes? And what if the race that never, ever mixed was also the race that controlled all the finances and controlled all the news and controlled all the entertainment and controlled all the propaganda? What if it was the same race? Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh, man, there's no way that could happen. That would be too obvious. Everybody would get that. Or would they? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting, right? And while you're thinking about that, think about this. Focus, life force, energy. What would it be like to have a high tone scale environment around you at all times? Birds of a feather flock together. What would it be like to have high consciousness surrounding you all the time? Well, guess what? You can find out. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com. Click on the fluffy logo. It's a swirl. It's a burst. It looks very energetic just by seeing it. Try it. You'll like it. It's one of the best things that I've ever done. So, folks, let's get into the meat of this. What Christianity wants to do is remove all these things and build us, people in general, into what they call a peculiar people. They want to cut you off from your ancestors. They want to cut you off from your gods. They want to cut you off from your birth. They want to cut you off from your race. They want to cut you off from your country. And they want to turn you into this thing called a peculiar people. I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea of being peculiar. So what does this mean? 1 Peter 2:9. You're a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. We think that's the greatest thing. Oh, we love it. We're chosen. We're royal. We're a whole. That's not what they said. That is not what they said. Let's look at that verse so we can actually see what they said. And we can see that I'm saying Christianity is the problem, not the solution. Not because I hate Christianity. I do hate Christianity. I don't hate Christians. Not because I hate Christians, but because I love Christians. I'm trying to set Christians free. Well, then why are you saying things that upset us? Because sometimes, dummy, to get free, you got to be told something. It's just like when my kids were growing up. They would have eaten ice cream and cookies all the time. Well, if you love your kids, you'd let them eat ice cream if that's what they want to eat. And it would kill them. So I have to be a good parent and say, no, you are not going to eat any ice cream. You're not going to eat any cookies until you eat some broccoli and some good food. So I did that. Did that make me a bad parent? No, I think it makes me a good parent. So when I come on this channel and tell you some stuff you don't want to hear, tell you you got to eat your vegetables, a bunch of you are still babies. And you don't want to listen to me because Jeff tells me to eat my vegetables. And you especially don't want to listen to me when you got people up here on YouTube that'll tell you to eat cake and cookies all the time. Well, I can go listen to him, and he tells me I can eat all the cake and cookies I want. In fact, he encourages it. Yeah, because he wants you fat and stupid. I want you lean and mean and ready to go. A lean, mean, manifesting machine. That's what I want you to be. So anyway, check this out. 1 Peter 2:9. This is the key to why Christianity is the problem, not the solution. If Christianity is the answer, it's a stupid ass question. Let me tell you that much right now. But you are a chosen generation. What does chosen mean? What does chosen mean? Chosen means to be selected out, to be chosen, to be picked out, to be selected. Now, this has a dual meaning right from the beginning. Remember, we were talking about if there was a race that did this, if there was a race that did that. Well, right here in your New Testament, right here in the red letters, ladies and gentlemen. Well, these wouldn't be red letters, my bad. But right here in your New Testament, it says the favorite. And what we're really talking about is this race right here. I can't say it because YouTube will get mad at me, but it's this race. This race right here. That verse is really talking about that race. It says right here in BibleHub.com. They're the favorite. They're the selected ones. They're the chosen out ones. Them. I have a question. Are you them? It's an easy question. Yes or no. Are you them? You're not. Well, then this verse isn't about you. Because they're them and you're you. But none of you probably read the novel Hannibal. And I think it was in the movie with Julianne Moore. But there's this crazy guy next to Hannibal Lecter in the Baltimore Hospital for the Criminally Insane. And he's talking, he's a crazy guy. I forget his name. But he says, I want to be with Jesus. I want to be with Christ. I can be with Jesus if I act real nice. Well, you can never be these because you're not them. But if you're real nice, they might let you have a little bit. If you're real nice, they might let you hang out a little bit. Now, you'll never be them. You'll never be the real favorite. You'll never be the real select. You'll never be the real chosen. That ain't you. That's them. If you ain't this, then you ain't that. But if you're real nice, and if you do exactly what they say, and you don't talk bad, you don't raise any trouble, they might let you have a little bit of something. Because it's this chosen people, and we all know who they were, we just can't say who they are. It's this chosen people that's a royal priesthood. It's this chosen people that's a holy nation. Right? It's them. It's them. They're the ones that are holy, which means to be set apart. Them. They're the ones that have the priesthood. Who has the priesthood? They're the ones that has the priesthood. And they are, according to their own definition, a race, a people. They're a race. And again, look, those people, we can't say them, but those people right there in BibleHub.com. And if you want to know who's running the show, identify the people you're not allowed to talk bad about. Much less talk bad about, can't even say their name. If you can't say their name on YouTube, they're running the show. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. And you know what? If you're nice, if you're really, really, really nice, then they'll let you be what they call, look at this. They'll let you be what they call a peculiar people. What's a peculiar people? What does peculiar mean? A people of possession. This is the word. A people that are acquired, a people that are obtained, a people that is possessed, a people that is owned. Where are my black people at? Remember Trump at that wedding, or not the wedding, at the rally? Where's all my Mexicans? Boy, he took some trash for that. He didn't mean anything by it. It was a joke. That's what I'm saying. Where are all my black people? Black people know all about, because they're the most recent people that know all about ownership. They know what it's like to be owned. I'm Irish. We went through the same shit. About the same time y'all was going through it. We know what it's like to be owned. We know what it's like to be possessed. And isn't it funny? When you become a Christian, you got to let Jesus into your heart. You got to let the Father into your heart. If you let any other spirit into your heart, you're possessed. Can I share a little secret with you? If you let Jesus in your heart, still possessed. If you let the Father in your heart, still possessed, still owned, still obtained, still acquired. So if you're really, really nice, these chosen people might let you be their slave. Maybe, if you're really, really nice. How long have you been singing songs about that verse? How long have you been celebrating that verse? How long have you been thinking that's the greatest thing ever? And I just showed you how stupid we all were for a long, long time. Do you want to be acquired, possessed, and owned? No, it's not fun. That's not where you want to be. But that's where they want you to get to. All of a sudden, you don't like singing that song anymore. There's a song in church they sing, people are like, oh, I don't like that song anymore. And what are you to do? You're to proclaim the virtues of him who called you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. You, because you get to be a slave, you get to be a slave. And because you get to be a slave, you're to show how great he is because he lets you be a slave. I remember our Christmas dinner. My cousin, who's now no longer with us, was about 4, and he was loud as hell. And he's making all this noise at the dinner table. And my stepfather leaned over to him and said, Jason, for Christmas, I want to buy you a muzzle. And he's like, Mom, for Christmas, Joe's getting me a muzzle. He was so happy to get a muzzle. He was proclaiming the greatness of Joe because Joe was going to get him a muzzle. And all these people, Jeff, God is great and Jesus is wonderful and they've made us to, they called us out of darkness, which was knowing our race, knowing our nation, knowing our gods, and into their light, which is being owned by them. I'm sorry, but I am not about to praise a bitch because he made me his bitch. I'm supposed to proclaim his virtue because he allows me to be a slave? He's the one that encaptured many, many free sons and daughters and now holds them in captivity. And Stockholm Syndrome, which is when you fight against a liberator on behalf of your captor. I'm here telling you that you used to be free and now he's made you a slave and you're thanking him for it. I'm trying to tell you, he's got you in jail. I open the door, run free. And you're like, no, we don't want to be free. And we're going to fight you for saying that we can be free. Y'all are crazy. Shit, didn't y'all ever see Roots? Don't you know if you get a chance to be free, you should be free? What would the Irish Roots be called? Just whiskey. Because only, you know why God invented whiskey? So the Irish wouldn't rule the world. But you're a chosen generation. You're bought and paid for, bitches. And who were you chosen by? You were chosen by a royal priesthood. You were chosen by a holy nation. You were chosen by a peculiar people. You were picked out. That's how they do slaves. They get the strong ones, the big ones, the strong ones, the healthy ones. They pick some of you out to make you a peculiar people. They're buying slaves. Once you were not a people, they want you to, once you were not a people, but now you're the people of God. They want us to believe that before we found this little bitch of a God, that we were nobody. We were strong, proud Irishmen, strong, proud Britons, strong, proud Africans, strong, proud Aztecs, strong, proud ninjas. I know. Strong, proud kung fu type people. Strong, proud tribes. And now that we found this God, now we're his bitches. And he's got us convinced, not me anymore, but he got you convinced that you were a strong, proud Nordic, but now you're a little bitch. And he's got you thanking him for it. He convinced us that we were nothing until we found him. He convinced us that we were nothing, and he's made us something. That's some bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. This is not your normal Sunday. The truth is, he was nothing. He was nothing. He was nothing but a puny, punk-ass little god of some insignificant little backward butt-buggering tribe. Until he tricked us, the great races, into capitulating to him. That's the truth. And now it's like, thank you, sir, may I have another? In the Air Force, we had this thing called Bohica. Bend over, here it comes again. And then, thank you, sir, may I have another? That's what we are. We used to be strong, proud white people, strong, proud black people, strong, proud Hispanic people, strong, proud Asian people, strong, proud Native peoples. But now we're all bitches, and we're thanking the bitch for buggering us. Not your normal Sunday, but the real damn truth. And the whole thing is in these things called the Beatitudes. And folks, if this don't make no damn sense to you, there's still some hope for you, but you're going to have to take some action. In addition to your fluffy, you need to get on some C60 purple power, because C60 is the great fountain of youth. It is the great antioxidant. It is the great free radical destroyer. It'll clean all the crap out of your system so you can begin to think straight again. Go to C60purplepower.com. Use the code TCW10. You get a great product at a great discount, ladies and gentlemen. So the word blessed, you know what the word blessed means? It means when this little bitch ass God decides to give you some benefits, advantages that he confers. Being blessed means that you're in that place where you're receiving God's provisions, receiving God's benefits. It's like spiritual EBT. It's spiritual welfare. He don't want you independent in providing for your damn self. He don't want you being entrepreneurial. He don't want you working a job and working it better than other people and going up the ladder and then running the whole damn thing. He wants you not dependent on you. He wants you dependent on him. You're blessed when you are sitting around waiting on God's benefits, waiting on I need my Jesus EBT. I'm waiting on it it's coming on the month. I need my Jesus EBT. He wants you waiting for your Jesus benefits, your Jesus welfare. I'm just waiting for my Jesus welfare. That's what he wants. I'm just waiting for Jesus to come back. It's going to be a long wait because he ain't coming back because he ain't real. They got you where they want you. You wait for somebody that don't exist to come back and give you something that he ain't got. All the time, sitting around whining and crying for somebody to come save you when you got everything you need to save your damn self. Blessed, stupid are they sitting around waiting for their ship to come in. You better swim out and meet it because it ain't coming in. That's blessed. What's poor mean? It means mild and gentle. Blessed are the meek, the mild, the gentle, for they will inherit. And this is all in Bible Hub. I'm just not going to go back and forth. They will inherit. Think about, some of you got an inheritance before. What did you have to do with that inheritance? Nothing. Is it always the nicest kid that gets the best inheritance? No. Why? Because an inheritance is somebody else deciding what they think you should get. No merit. An inheritance is somebody else deciding what they're going to give you. And in this case, with this God, it's appointed by casting lots. It's chance. It's called kleromancy. Casting lots in which an outcome is determined by means that normally would be considered random. Other times revealed to be the will of God or other supernatural entities. So you have decided that you just want to wait on this bitch and you're going to be happy with whatever this bitch decides to give you. If you are nice and they let you become one of the, what if you ain't one of the slaves they buy? I almost said something. That would have been a slip. I'd have been in trouble. What if you ain't one of the slaves they want to buy? What if you're one of them slaves that ain't going to get bought? The mild and gentle be given what they, the little bitch God, the rat bastard, and his chosen people decide to give you. Whoa, this is some deep stuff. And it's right in the book. It's right in the text. Who's the poor? Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Who's the poor? One who crouches and cowers. One who's poor and beggarly. Can you see why they're doing this, burning down the shit, and they're doing this COVID, and they're doing this, oh my God, a mask? They're trying to make you crouch and cower in your house. Do you know why they're trying to shut down the economy? They're trying to make you poor and beggarly. And if you're poor and beggarly, guess what you got to do? You got to go back and get some Jesus EBT. And if you crouch and if you cower and if you let yourself become poor, then they will give you something that they decide what to give you. But guess what? If you're not crouching, if you're not cowering, if you're not, then you ain't getting paid. They want you to take a knee. Jesus wants you to take a knee. You're supposed to see these things. In Freemasonry, they take a knee. You're supposed to see these things. That's why I'm here, to show you these things that you forget to see because you're looking for some stupid sign from some stupid book that happened back in AD 70 from some stupid idiot telling you that it's going to happen now. It's happening. We are living in prophecy. No, we're not living in prophecy. That shit happened AD 70, 2,000 years ago. And they want you looking for that shit that already happened so you don't see the shit that is happening so they can put you where they want you. Come on, man. Cowering peasants will be given what they decide, they, the little bitch-ass God, the rat bastard, and the chosen people, what they decide to give you. Who controls, what race controls the United States government? Who gives the most money to get the politicians elected? It's a simple answer. This nation's elections have been infiltrated by a foreign country, but it ain't Russia yet. Not Russia. not Russia. Who can't you talk about? Blessed are they that mourn. You will be blessed if you feel guilty. That's what mourn means. You will be blessed if you grieve over a death. What death? The death of Jesus that they blame you for. We know you killed Jesus. You should feel guilty for killing Jesus. But don't worry, we'll send you a comforter, which means an advocate, which means be comforted and legally defended. So here's how it goes. They charge you with a crime for killing a bitch that never lived. Wait a second. I've been charged with murder, but he never lived. And I've been feeling guilty for how many years for contributing to the death of a dude that never lived. And I've been thanking this God for sending me some comfort. And I've been so happy Jesus dropped the charges. There were no charges. There was no Jesus. Nobody died. You've been fooled. They're comforting and forgiving you for a crime you did not commit because it never happened because the bitch wasn't real. You can't be guilty for killing somebody that never existed. And now they're burning down cities because they're claiming we are all guilty for killing somebody that never existed. George Floyd wasn't any more real than Jesus. Trying to make it real for y'all. Jesus is George Floyd is Jesus. George Floyd, as we know him, was not real. And he certainly, you couldn't fit that big ass guy in that little baby coffin they had. They're dancing around with that coffin. Ain't no way if that big ass 250-pound man is in that coffin, filled up with all that stuff. There ain't no way you dance it. And it was a little baby coffin. Cynthia couldn't fit in that coffin. She's 5 feet tall. And tell me almost 7 foot tall George Floyd's like, oh, I am still, not unless they cut that bitch in half. All of this that we're seeing right now in our cities and all the people that are trying to leverage it is over a murder that never happened. Hey, it worked great 2,000 years ago. We made up a character. We said he was killed. We blamed everybody for it. And for 2,000 years, they've been taking a knee. So why not do it again? Hey, that shit worked so good 2,000 years ago. Let's roll that shit out again. I'll bet we can get these bitches to take a knee again. And guess what? It's working. Because stupid is as stupid does. Not your normal Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Not your normal Sunday. We're going to talk about hungering and thirsting after righteousness and what that really means. But can we be real for a minute? We're talking about a white race needing to be great again. We're talking about a black race needing to be great again. And we got a problem because men are not great. We got erectile dysfunction. We got injuries. Women got cellulite. You don't like that shit. Folks, the answer is here, the Phoenix. It's the end of erectile dysfunction. It's the end of cellulite. And it's the end of many injuries. This therapy you pay thousands and thousands of dollars for in the clinic. But instead, you can go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Phoenix logo. That's it. You'll see it right on the front page. And you can get this in your home. And it'll make sex great again. And that'll make couples great again. And then we can get back to being a great white race, a great black race, a great red, yellow, black, great yellow race, great red race. I forget. But get it, man. It's powerful. So, those who hunger and thirst. What does hunger and thirst mean? Hungry, needy. And I got to show you this. I got to show you this in the book or you won't believe me. You will not believe me. Where is this? This is Matthew. Where are the Beatitudes, ladies and gentlemen? Who remembers where the Beatitudes are? Because right now I don't. Matthew. Let's see how long it takes us without cheating. Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, is that Beatitudes? Boom! I still know this shit. Matthew chapter 5. I still know this shit. It's like a wart. It takes a long time to go away. That's what we're after, the Beatitudes. Blessed, right? And I want to go to hunger and thirst, because that means hungry, needy. But I want you to see what righteousness means. See, we're right here. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst. I'm fixing to blow the whole thing open right here. If you don't want to know that the guy and girl you watching YouTube is full of shit, turn this off now. If you don't want to know that you're full of shit, turn it off now. Fair warning. Because watch this right here. Watch this right here. This is one of the great revelations that you'll only see here. And this is one of the great revelations of all time right here. This stuff hadn't been preached in like 2,000 years. If you can call it preaching. I don't like to, but you know, it is what it is. Blessed are they. We already know what blessed means, right? We already know what that means. Happy, contented. Are they that hunger and thirst? We saw that. That means to be hungry, to be needy, to earnestly desire. You got to be hungry for this thing. You got to earnestly desire this thing. You got to feel that you got a need for this thing if you want to be blessed by the little bitch, rat bastard God and the people that are his. Watch this. Blessed are they, where am I at? Which hunger and thirst after what? After righteousness. Well, Jeff, shouldn't we all hunger and thirst after righteousness? No, not this righteousness. Words mean things. And I'm going to show you what this word means. Well, Jeff, it's right there. It's plain. It's just the plain English. Is this thing on? This book wasn't written in English, dummy. It was written in Greek. And that word in Greek might not mean what it means in English. And that word in Greek might mean something else that one of these bitches didn't tell you what it really means because they don't want you to know. I'm the bitch that wants you to know. Watch this, bitch. We're all bitches here. Cynthia's somewhere rolling her eyes like, oh, she wouldn't say that. Hunger and thirst for what? For righteousness. Sometimes it ain't what it looks like. Jeff, I read the Bible and I don't see any problem with hungering and thirsting after righteousness. You're just an antichrist. You're a terrible man because you don't want me to thirst for right. Everybody wants righteousness. Problem is, everybody does, but they don't know what they want. I remember when I was in high school, grew up in Florida. We used to go to the Florida State football game. And one of our friends, he ended up playing for Florida State. He's a big, bad guy. And he was at a bar, and he picked up this girl. And all of a sudden, they go out to the car, and we figured, he got lucky again. He always gets lucky. And somebody runs back in the bar. Oh, my God, he's killing her. And we're like, what? We go out there, and here's this guy beating the hell out of this girl. Well, he hungered and thirst. He was hungered and thirsting. He was hungering and thirsting for her righteousness. But it found out the righteousness that she had wasn't the righteousness that he was after. Because she wasn't a she all the way. She was a she on top and a he on the bottom. That's why he was beating her, whatever up. But he thought he was getting some righteousness. But what he was getting was this. The word is righteousness, right? Righteousness. The word is justice. Oh, we all want justice. We all want righteousness, right? Oh, no, we don't. Because this word, dikaiosune, it's not from Sterling's land. It's not Japanese. It's Greek. It's dikaiosune, a dick in yausne. It sounds like what we were talking about Florida State, but no. Look at what it means. Look at what it means. I can't tell you what it means, but you can look and see what it means. Damn, Jeff, you've done it again. Yes, I have. Everybody that's pushing the Bible is pushing that kind of a righteousness because they serve that kind of a righteousness and they know it. They just don't want you to know it. If they're on YouTube, if they're on media and they're pushing this stuff, they know damn good and well that they are pushing this stuff right here. They know it. Am I not sharing? Yeah, I'm sharing, right? Yeah, I'm sharing. Can we just share? They know that they're pushing this, but they don't want you to know they're pushing this. That's why I'm telling you. Do you realize that it says right here, this usage of this word is always in this kind of this kind of atmosphere? This is what the Bible's all about. Now you know. And it makes sense, right? It makes perfect sense because we know the Bible was written. We're told the Bible was written by the God of these guys. You're praying for the book of Revelation to happen. Well, the book of Revelation says the New Jerusalem comes, and these guys are in the inside, and you guys are on the outside, bringing in your taxes, your fees, your assessments. Why? Because you're a peculiar people. You don't let peculiar people in your house. You're not getting in to the New Jerusalem. It's just for them. But you're a peculiar people. If you do just what they want, they'll let you come. It's like, I'm not going to say that. But it's like if you really wanted something, but she wouldn't give it to you, but she might let you just smell it a little bit. That's the same thing. Can I just smell it? It's the same thing, y'all. Make it, oh, Jeff, that's gross. But you really want it. And they're just going to let you have a little sniff. You're praying for your own enslavement. Oh, come quickly, Lord Jesus. Make me a slave. Only here, ladies and gentlemen. Only here, not your normal Sunday. Blessed are the merciful, those that are full of pity and full of compassion. Those that are consistent with God's covenant. That's what it says in the Greek. If you are full of pity for them, those people, if you're full of compassion for those people, consistent with God's covenant, who did God make the covenant with? Who are you supposed to be compassionate towards and full of pity towards? It's simple. They'll be shown mercy. What kind of mercy are you going to be shown? This kind of mercy. Matthew 15:27 mercy. Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Just have faith, Jesus says. Jesus said this is the greatest faith he ever saw. He never saw any faith greater than this. Jesus said it. Jeff didn't say it. Jesus said the greatest faith he ever saw was this lady saying, I'll just be under, I don't want to, you don't have to let me have it. You don't have to let me touch it. Just let me smell it a little bit. Just let me eat the crumb that fall. And Jesus says, your faith is great. If you will do what these people want you to do, the people of the covenant. He didn't make it with you. He made it with them. If you will be what they want you to be, he might let you get under that table and have some crumbs. They might let you have a little sniff every now and then. But don't you scratch. It's only sniff. No scratch and sniff. And blessed are the pure in heart, ceremonially and ritually pure and clean. It shows you, text shows you its LEMISH purification. Watch, we'll show you that one too. Because you got to see these things, because you don't believe they're there. And then I show you, oh, he photoshopped that Bible hub. I know he did. He photoshopped Bible hub. It can't be true. Blessed are the pure. Blessed are the pure. Well, let me show you the word. He's faking it. I know he's faking it. He's Photoshop on the run. Blessed are the pure. What's pure mean? Ceremonially clean. Who's got this ceremonially clean shit? You know what that is. You know who that is. And if you remain ceremonial clean, do everything they tell you to do, You don't get to be with God, but you might get to look at God every now and then. If you stay ceremonially and ritually clean and talk good about them and be a good slave, they might let you look upon every now and then. You're not going to get to enter, but you might get to watch from outside. You're not going to get to touch it. You're not going to get in it, but you might get to sniff it every now and then. You might get to hang out under the table and wait for a crumb. Do you really want that? We're almost done. Blessed are the peacemakers, the pacifists, those that won't fight or resist. That's what they want. That's what they want with George Floyd, and that's what they want with Jesus Floyd. Same thing. They want us to all be pacifists. Oh, these poor people, they've been so oppressed. We should just let them burn it down. Let them work off a little bit of their energy. You know those people are very emotional. Just let them burn off a little bit of their energy. Oh, and you know those other people, they've been persecuted for a long, long time. Let them own everything. It's only right. Let them own all the politicians. Let them own all of the media. Let them own all of the entertainment. Let them run all the money. Let them run all the porn. Hey, they deserve it. They got to come on. Please help me. Come on. Oy vey, let them. They've been down too long. Let's don't fight them or resist them. Those poor people. If you do that, you might get adopted. They might adopt you. You might get to be a second-class citizen in the kingdom of the LEMS and their God if you capitulate. Can you see the parallels and the analogies between George Floyd and Jesus Floyd? Between Jesus Christ and George Christ? Can you see the parallels? It's very simple. It's very, very easy. Blessed are those that are persecuted. Well, you know, we deserve to be chased. We deserve to be hunted. But what it's really talking about is the people like you and me. Who's really in charge of the kingdom of heaven? Who really owns the kingdom of heaven? This is the good news. This is the diamond in the dung. Those people that are chased and hunted. I know what it's like to be chased and hunted. And if you share my stuff on Facebook or Twitter, you know what it's like to be chased and hunted. And it's not just to be chased and hunted, because you can do stupid shit and be chased and hunted too. But you're chased and hunted because of, or on the count of, the way you deal with, remember that word, what it was? Let me go back and show that to you, because that's important. Remember that word and what it was? The people that are persecuted, ladies and gentlemen, the people that are persecuted, the people that are spoken against, the people that really run the kingdom are the people, remember, that speak against this, which is what? People that speak against righteousness as defined in this way. We're not against them. We're just against them running everything. We're not against them. We're just against them owning everything. We're not against them. We're just against them buying all the politicians and not being able to say they're doing it. Do you see now what the Russian collusion was all about? Russia interfered in our election. They know that another country interfered in our election and done been interfering in our election. They know it. But they don't want you to know it. So that's why they gave you a half-truth. Oh, a foreign country interfered in our elections. Well, yeah, they do. They have been. And it's Russia. No, it ain't Russia. It's these guys. They give the money. It's really simple. It's really easy once you allow yourself to see it. So, those that do not go with that bullshit, those who are not down with that bullshit, those who speak up and say no, those are the ones that are hunted due to this. Those that are chased because they won't comply. Guess what, folks? Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Whose is the kingdom of heaven? Not the bitches that take a knee, not the bitches that are following signs, not the bitches that believe in prophecy, not the bitches that know that it is written and it must happen, not the bitches that lay down and die. Whose is the kingdom? Theirs is the kingdom. The nonconformists are the kingdom. The fighters are the kingdom. Those that dare to say the Bible is a Jesuit, Illuminati, Freemason, LEMISH, Matrix lie. Theirs is the kingdom, and guess what, cousins? Ours is the kingdom. We're the nonconformists. We're the fighters. We're telling the truth. And how do you know? How do we manifest? Because we get insulted. We get persecuted. And people say false things and all kinds of evil against us. Why? Because of how we deal with him. Because of how we deal with him. We say this bitch wasn't real. We say this bitch was a dancing bear that screwed children and was a pedophile. Did you say my Lord and Savior? I surely damn did. He wasn't real, but if he was, he was. No, he wasn't real, but the one that you believe in was a pedophile, yes. And he works for the puny-ass rat bastard God and that chosen people, and we are going to point it out, and we are just getting started pointing it out. How do they do it? They reproach us. They revile us. They upbraid us. They insult us. They persecute us. They try to overtake us, but they can't. Why? Because we call them out for what they are. Evil, bad, wicked, malicious, and lazy. Lazy. Why do we do it? Because of who they serve and because of the agenda they represent. Sorry, that's not for Black Lives Matter. I just ran out of slides and forgot that I had. That's the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Jesus is the enemy, not the answer. That's why Christianity is not the solution. It's the problem. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. It is just that simple. It's just that easy. It's been over an hour. It's Sunday morning. We all got stuff to do. I won't go through the chat today, not because I don't like you and not because I don't want to see your chat. And as I go through this, it looks like this is a great chat. It's all over and we're all on the same page. So we don't have to do any self-congratulation. But namaste to all of you. I appreciate it very, very much. And we know who we are. We know who they are. We're the last generation of real humans. We're the ones calling it out. We're the ones identifying. We're the ones taking numbers. We're all out of gum. So you know what comes next. For Tracy Dyer and all of our great moderators, for the lovely Cynthia who will be with us maybe later tonight, I think, for a conclave, Cousins Conclave, open forum, question and answer. I salute you for being here, seeking after truth. And I continue to encourage you to unindoctrinate yourself by asking questions and questioning answers. And then that's how. And that's how we stay busy. So get busy, cousins. We appreciate you. We'll see you again real soon.